Yo, what's up, everyone? This is episode 143 of the Blrd podcast. As always, we have Green Tuner.
Hello.
Dark Side.
Yo.
He's the yo-yo master.
Yeah. He is a yo-yo. He is definitely a yo-yo. And Dio Mac.
Yo.
Creamcast.
Main character, Bay.
False. Side character, but believe what you want. We all have dreams. And the one and only main character of every storyline.
Yo.
The Ed.
Yo.
How you doing, everybody, guys?
Yeah.
Go to 8, but go on. How you guys doing?
Yeah, we doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, how about you guys?
How is the Ed Underground doing? Because we haven't seen him for a
Yeah, I know.
Our favorite side character, a special guest.
First of all, I'm the main character.
Special guest.
show up.
I'm like Goku. I disappear for a minute, train or whatever. Come back from Snake Way, and while you guys are getting beat up by the Cyberman, you're crying out for where's Goku? Where's Goku? And I'm running on my way, and then I make an appearance and I kick everybody's butt. Here I am.
A true badass.
Yeah, true.
Hey,
Yeah.
someone's got to do it. I'm just here to step up. So
You're sort of step up. Shut up. No one cares. Yeah, but thank you for being here as our special guest.
special guest. I'm the main gone.
You're always a
Very special.
Very special.
Very
Wow.
Very special.
The funny thing is, really quick, I have had people say to me that Bandito Mac is a great addition to the Blrd podcast. And I said, why do you think that? And numerous people have said in different variations that they're like, wow, he has coherent arguments. He has, logical points. And he doesn't seem, there's a spectrum, not saying what spectrum, but there's a spectrum that he's definitely on the opposite side of certain people.
Well, it's a big step above compared to Creamcasters, the opposite of that. So
yeah. I will say I am definitely on a spectrum somewhere. So people are very happy with the Bandito being part of the podcast. And then but I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people say, where is the underground? Where is ED? Like, we haven't heard him. Yeah, they're like, we see him in the gas station. We get reminded of him when we see him at the gas station and so forth and everything else.
With DVD Man.
Yeah, DVD Man, maybe. So
whatever gets your rocks off.
Whatever. So,
Whoa. No.
But no, thank you guys. This is great. I'm not gonna lie. Every time we do the podcast, I miss you guys. I know we talk almost every day, but I still miss you guys.
I miss my daughter too, but go on.
Sure. Whatever you say.
Good to be back, baby.
Yeah, good to be back. Good to have you back. Talking about coming back from a little bit of a hiatus, our main topic on tonight is Dragon Ball. Is it Daima? Dragon Ball Daima, which is crazy because at the end of the day, we had Dragon Ball Super, right? Then we had the unfortunate passing of Akira Toriyama, which I think nobody was expecting. Dragon Ball, for the most part, even though this was announced prior to his passing, there's a lot of things that are kind of in limbo right now with Dragon Ball in the series because the manga was still continuing on until his passing. We had just revealed forms with the Granola Saga, and Vegeta got Ego. What's it called? Perfect. No, it's not Perfect Ego. What's it called?
I thought it was Super Ego.
Super Ego. I forgot.
Who can keep up?
He can't keep up with all this. Vegeta got a new form.
He turns a little red.
Sure, I'm sure he did. Turns a little slightly red. Piccolo turns slightly orange.
Orange, yes. Well, you're talking about
Piccolo?
Yeah, well, you're talking about before, but he got Vegeta got his new form. Goku had perfected UI. Gohan had beast form. Piccolo turned to super anemic, and the story was progressing possibly into more into the gods and so forth. and seeing what's happening with our favorite Z fighters. But with Akira Toriyama's passing, that's kind of been put in limbo. But we got Dragon Ball Daima. That was, like I said, it was announced before his passing. So we got something that he had actually touched before he had passed. So this is a real treat for Dragon Ball fans across the world. So I'm really happy that we got to kind of discuss this. This is kind of, I know on the podcast, we normally don't discuss anime in depth, or at least not in our main topic. So
surprisingly, why I don't know, but yeah.
I mean, but this is what we're doing. So I think
anime every now and then.
I suggest a lot of animes, but no, let's watch. What was it like?
What have you suggested?
Okay, you suggested like Bible Black and like
Bible Black.
Oh no, not me.
I think it was Bible Black.
You were pretty heavy on the Bible Black.
I think that stuff were like great tutor.
I think you wanted Sailor Moon and the Seven Balls.
No, that's your suggestion. Wait, don't you own that DVD?
a little too spicy.
Nobody, I know you're the one that brought it up.
I can recall we all went to a comic con, well, C2E2.
Hey, what the hell are you rubbing right? What are you rubbing right now?
This
You're rubbing the hairs on your chinny chin. And just like there's nothing there. You have no story whatsoever.
I just cut it.
You have no story
Because
none of us bought any Sailor Moon and the Seven Dragon Balls.
Someone bought it, but it wasn't cream.
Cream? I think Cream did. Wait,
did someone actually buy it?
It wasn't cream.
I think so. It was Cream.
No, it wasn't.
No, but no, I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, we're not gonna out
on the air,
yeah.
but we'll talk about it later. But it wasn't Cream. I can guarantee you. Then
no, it wasn't me. I bought other stuff. I remember.
I can guarantee you. Look, you know what? Cream bought. He bought that 8-foot samurai sword. Remember where
we were struggling,
fucking struggling because we were all fitting into Cream's car, and we had to like fucking Yeah, like just for the fucking 8-foot sword.
Was it the bleach sword?
It was the
bleach sword.
It was a Zangetsu.
You fucking nerd. You goddamn nerd.
Yeah, I must have had a lot of disposable income back then because that was I don't to this day. No, the funny thing is I still have that sword. I don't have it. My parents have it. My parents in my parents' place, they have it. At one point they had it displayed in the living room against a grandfather clock. Like I had fought a massive battle and and I'm like time to put the sword up.
The heirloom.
Yeah, it's time to step away from violence. I have
back in Eric as Creamcast Soul Reaper days.
Yeah, my Soul Reaper days. Yeah, exactly. So
it's almost like saying a Hattori Han. So it's like, is that a cream?
Creamcast original.
Creamcast original.
Amazing.
Yeah, no. So so like I said, Dragon Ball Daima is out. We had a little bit of confusion with that. There's one episode out. Somebody had told us that was out on Netflix, but apparently it's also out on Crunchyroll, Hulu, and so forth, where 2 episodes are available on other platforms, but on Netflix there's 1. So there might be a little bit of disparity of our experiences with this episode or with this series so far. But I mean, let's just jump right into it. I mean, what do you guys think of Akira Toriyama's last work?
I am confused.
Really?
I know they get turned into children.
Yes.
Wait, first of all, did you see it? Did you see it?
We all saw it.
What? We all saw it.
Yeah, we all saw it. Some of us only watched one episode. Some of us watched both episodes.
Well, look, obviously they all get turned into children because they're wished to be that way, whatever. But all the other story, like that happened from like Dragon Ball Z and
Majin Buu stuff.
Majin Buu.
Majin.
No. It's Majin Buu.
Majin.
Who speaks English? The Queen's English.
Okay, you're watching. You watched it on some shady sites that probably didn't have correct translation.
Probably some guy typed it out.
Correct.
He's on Google Translate.
Go ahead and go with the Jada.
I'm not the most seasoned Dragon Ball. I watched it back in the day. I got up to about, I think, the start of the Buu saga, and then I stopped. I was like, I'm not.
Same there. I think after the Cell saga and the Buu, I'm like, I think I'm tapped out.
I didn't get to the Buu. through like all the Boo saga. So like the flashback they're showing, I'm aware of all those things.
That's
So
Boo.
I understood the concept of like I think they're trying to establish a timeline, which I don't
Yeah,
make.
but then
So
there's
yeah,
those
but he
like
doesn't.
purple guys with the pointy ears
Purple
Yeah,
guys.
the guy
the
from
purple-
the Demon
with the
Realm.
white hair. What are those things?
Purple
Okay,
guy.
wait, hold on. I think this is the question I was going to ask the Dragon Ball expert here. Of course, Creamcast. Creamcast.
False. False.
The
Number one
they're
otaku.
they're watching the flashback, and they're just some kind of time travel, right? So are they the time period they arrive at is like modern, most caught up real time in Dragon Ball, right?
No, so
It's not time travel.
it's not time travel. So for them, this is real time. So in
Real
the
time,
beginning,
but they're viewing the past, right?
yeah, they viewed the
Right,
past.
yeah.
So in the Demon Realm, they were reviewing everything that had occurred pretty much from the Majin Buu series or the Majin Buu saga. So they were sitting there watching all this happening back in time, or they were watching it pretty much like almost like a VCR. So they're watching everything that's happening. And
It's similar. It's similar to the Cell saga. How they were able to get all the knowledge of the fighters for Cell. It's similar to that.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
They're pretty much watching. They're just watching things that happened in the past.
Yeah.
So now, so when that happened, they are pretty much saying like, hey, well, now that we saw that Majin Buu killed Babidi, Deborah was killed. They were like, hey, now, since Deborah's dead, who was the previous Demon King of the Demon Realm, they're like, hey, well, now you're the Demon King at this point. They're like, well, if Majin Buu, who was defeated by these Saiyans, or these Earthlings, they think they're just Earthlings. They're like, hey, that Majin Buu's defeated the Earthlings, but Majin Buu defeated Deborah. At this point, they can kill you too, because he's actually weaker than Deborah.
Yeah.
But isn't Majin Buu alive?
Yes.
He's alive, and he's alive, and he's a good guy. So during the Majin Buu saga, Buu was split into.
No. No, I didn't ask
This is
you.
what you've seen.
He didn't ask for lore.
And I didn't
Also,
ask.
Well, as the number one otaku, I'm giving you the lore.
All right, hold on. Listen, also, to be clear, I just want to set it up some more so that people know who we're talking about when they say they. Because we're talking about they. It's the characters in the beginning are King Goma, right? Yes. That's the little guy, and then the other guy's Degesu, I think his name, Degesu.
I forgot his name.
He's the other demon that looks like King Kai.
Supreme Kai.
Yes.
Yeah. So
they're
those two
brothers.
Yeah, so those two, like he was saying, they're reviewing the past events and kind of seeing like, oh, hey, King Goma can now be the new king of hell or king of the demon realm.
Okay,
yes.
I got you.
Yeah.
But isn't Majin Buu's existence? Isn't Majin Buu's existence like?
Yeah. So in the beginning,
isn't he the guy he's usurping? Right? Am I wrong about that? Like
he was usurping Deborah. And Babidi.
And Babidi, yeah. So Babidi was the one that recruited Deborah, and they were trying to resurrect
good old Babidi.
Majin Buu.
All right.
That was the point.
Alexa, who is Deborah?
You guys are talking about this like I should know. My eyes are glazing over as you guys are going, Babidi Doopity went with Deborah Jadora.
It kind of like glances over it, a lot of it.
Deborah told Barak that the Lord God of Israel commanded him to lead an attack against
I think you're on different lore. Yeah, you're on different lore, sir.
I didn't know Dragon Ball was so political.
Yeah, I didn't realize that,
a little theological.
Yeah, a little theological. So in short, the new Demon King, he wants to take over, but he realizes that Majin Buu, who had killed Deborah, was beat by some Earthlings. He's like, hey, we can't win if the Earthlings are still there because they defeat Majin Buu and Majin Buu is still alive. So we need to find out a way to be able to make them weaker so that we can be able to take over and so forth. So they concoct a plan.
why didn't he make them into like toddlers or infants? Look,
So
You know what
because
I'm
the
saying?
new king, he's actually weaker. So if he was to fight them at their normal state, he would be disintegrated basically.
Yeah. He's saying like, why didn't they
Yeah.
make him younger?
We made him younger. The reason
Yeah.
No, because
I mean,
he thought it'd be weaker.
Yeah.
well, not
Because-
just that. I mean, it's plot lines. I mean, it's
Right,
it's
yeah.
plot armor.
Yeah.
It's plot
Yeah.
lines. They need a
Very
way
plot
to
armor.
justify.
would it be easier?
you know.
Would it be easier to kill a baby?
Of
Well,
course,
that's the
it
thing.
would have been easier to just ice
They-
them right there.
They did make a point of
Yeah.
that. So when the Demon King eventually comes to Earth, they do have Dragon Balls in the Demon Realm, but they're protected by very powerful, like almost like what's that show in Japan? Beetleborg, not Beetleborg, but the like not Tamagotchi.
Big bad.
Like,
I forgot.
like, I think it's Zenkai.
Kamen Rider? Kamen Rider?
Kamen Rider, yeah, like Kamen
Kamen
Rider
Rider,
looking
yeah, there you
like
go.
looking guys. So they're like, hey, let's just go to Earth and we can be able to get the Dragon Balls really easy because we have a Namekian who is a guardian who can grab them really easily. So they quickly do the Dragon Balls, and then when they're talking to Shenron, Shenron literally asks them like, how young do you want to make them be? And the Demon King
Yeah.
now, they're kind of
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
They're
right?
kind
He's
of
like-
slow. They're kind of slow.
Right.
They're kind, and I would say imbecilic, but they're kind of, they're making kind of light of how like intelligent this guy is. So he's like, I don't know, like 8 years old, and then Shenron makes him 8, and then Shenron's like, what about the people that are already 8 years old? Yeah, make them into babies. So that gets rid of like Trunks and Goten, and now all of the people who were adults who fought against Boo are now teenagers. So with that being said,
so what happened at the end of the? Because I watched both episodes and I don't want to like ruin whatever in the second. What happened at the end of the first episode?
So
nothing.
Boy,
They
they turn into kids.
Turn to kids.
Yeah, they turn kids.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
you actually see them turn into kids, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Why is Android 18 a child? I thought she was an android.
'Cause she
Or does
fought-
she age?
Well,
She
she's
was
half human.
once. She was
Yeah.
human once.
Yes.
That's what an android means.
So Android in this sense, and this was kind of a misconception, even in the Z series.
I don't think that's what it is.
In the
Android is, it's the reverse.
Yeah,
go ahead.
in the Z series, everybody thought that they were fully mechanical, like robotic. But she was like, hey, you know, she's like, Dr. Giro made us like we still have all our human parts for the most part. Like we've just been enhanced with mechanical pieces to make us stronger.
Krillin would know.
Yeah, Krillin, obviously, because he had a baby with 18. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, she's a robot. How did you do that? She's like, nah, she's still a woman. She still has all the bits and pieces as a woman.
How pissed was Krillin? How pissed was Krillin when she was like, I'm pregnant? He was like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
she's like, I thought I was banging a Camry, but really, you know, she's a woman.
I really wanted to have sex with a
Tesla bot.
sweet hot robot. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I thought your pronouns were Cam and Ree, but she and her. What the hell?
Or Tess and La.
Yeah, something. So yeah, at the end of the day, so everybody who fought Boo, the wish was that if everybody that fought Boo would be turned into a child. So
anyone who fought Boo.
So that's why like everybody else in the world are still like their normal age, but then everybody who was participating in the Boo saga, which is pretty much the Z fighters and all of their significant others and everything else, became babies. So that's why even Bulma, that's why people are asking like, how did Bulma get hit? Bulma didn't actively fight Boo, but because she was a participant of
like he said they're friends. He said all the fighters and their friends.
Yeah. So
So
yeah, that's
okay.
Because even Mr. Satan.
Plot armor.
Yeah, I didn't see Mr. Satan. I guess that's on the second episode, but
I think
it was in the first episode.
It might be in
the first episode.
Was it?
He didn't show up in the first episode.
It might have been like a quick glance.
I'm pretty
Was
sure.
he like eating or something?
Well, that's why, like I said, I asked what happened at the end
he
because I don't want to like ruin whatever.
He
Maybe
goes up to them. He's
flashback.
like, no, he's telling them he's a child, and he's like, hey, I'll save you guys. I'm Mr. Satan.
Yeah,
And
second episode.
Vegeta's
Oh yeah,
Vegeta's like,
he looks like a
"What?"
little like
That's second episode.
Okay.
Oh,
Second
did you
episode?
see the preview with Master Roshi?
No, I didn't see no previews.
Is
Sorry.
adorable.
Okay, hold on.
Wait, okay, I'm sorry. Did everyone not see the second episode?
No.
Yeah,
I watched the second episode.
Yeah, because on Netflix,
Oh, okay.
Netflix doesn't come out until the 25th, I believe.
Yeah.
Friday.
So on Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know that. I didn't know that
You guys
Hulu had
are-
it. So
You guys are OG, of course. Creamcast and Benito Mac are OGs.
And Ed.
Yes.
And Ed.
But
And Ed.
quiet down there.
Can
Listen.
someone mute this fella, please?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and do
Peanut,
that.
yeah,
Hey, fans.
the crowd in here, but no.
What?
I was gonna say that I've always watched Dragon Ball Z in like on fucking Cartoon Network and shit. So I know that this is the original voice actor for Goku is like a celebrated Japanese actor, but my God, how is this possible? That this is the
Oh
voice
Lord,
of
yeah,
Goku.
it's like
It is
nails on a chalkboard when you're
Nails
used
on
to
a
growing up with the dubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
how is
It's like,
when we grew up
God damn it.
not only that, it's like and I know it's like a Japanese thing, but like fucking like at least like a masculine voice. At least like Vegeta is like, am I wrong? Is that I don't think I heard him talk. I don't know. But
No,
he's a pretty
Vegeta
good
has a
voice.
deeper voice.
Yeah, Vegeta.
He'll have a deep voice. Yeah.
Vegeta.
Yeah,
Both of
he has a deep voice.
yeah, Vegeta has always been pretty much voiced by a man. Goku.
Yeah.
Is
Goku's
voiced
always
by a
been
woman.
Yeah, Goku's traditionally voiced by a woman.
Hey,
Well,
look,
it's been one woman this entire time.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I mean, look, I have no hate because I mean, like, fucking, I watch One Piece.
I
And,
mean,
like,
that is the
fucking-
original if you
Goku's
think
voiced by a
about it.
woman.
It is the
You know what I
original.
mean?
Yeah.
I get
Yeah.
it, but like, okay, so you guys who are hardcore OG fans, is this what you want? Is this
Yes.
So I'll say this in the
My God.
beginning. No,
Yeah.
because we already had the whole Goku turning into a kid experience with
GT,
Dragon Ball
right?
GT. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
my
GT
favorite one.
Oh God, I pray for your soul. GT was not beloved up until they went Super Saiyan 4. That's when it started to get kind of interesting, but it was done after that. I personally was not looking really forward into this. Even after his passing,
Fake fan.
I still hold on. I felt the same way, but being the highly high Dragon Ball Z fan I am, I definitely want to see it. Highly high. More high than your hat. DBZ fan that I am, I wanted to definitely check it out, and I would say I'm only in the first episode. The animation is very beautiful. I would say it's almost movie quality.
I liked it. Yeah, I like the animation. And like I said, I don't have for one episode, and like I said, I'm not like these aren't my favorite characters or anything. I had fun with the first episode, and I'm kind of looking forward. It gets like seeing Goku as a kid gives me the feeling of like watching Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball, and there's like a nostalgic fun about that, which I don't know if this will tap into, but there's like funny humorous shenanigans that I want to see happen.
That's what happened, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I'm kind of excited for that.
Well, I mean,
but other
even
than that,
in
the story seems interesting.
In the theme song, it's like, "Hey, get ready for some like laughs and adventure and goofs and like literally it says that in the theme song. It's like, okay, so that's very lighthearted. So look, I watched the second episode. Benito watched it without ruining it. There's a lot of callbacks. That's what I say. I'm confused. There's a lot of like callbacks that I'm like to you guys when you watch it. It's nothing, right? Because you're so invested in Dragon Ball universe that to you it's like regular knowledge. But to me, who stopped literally watching after like basically some of the Buu saga, I have no idea of any of it. But it does seem like it's combining that stuff for the older fans and like Kid Goku and everything, so that they can like it's something you can share. It seems like with like a younger audience where you can both meet in the middle, where you have like kids watching this like really lighthearted Goku thing, but it seems like it's having callbacks for like the long-term fans that have invested time into Dragon Ball as a series or whatever it is.
Callbacks to what? Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball?
That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know. I saw them, but I don't know if they're that. I don't know if they're GT.
Benito
You have characters that show up that I have no idea who they are.
They're not going past Buu Saga. This is actually right after the Buu Saga. So they're not doing Super. They're not doing any of the movies, the recent movies that came out.
Listen, there's creatures in there that are not from what I saw growing up this show, okay?
Hold on.
That's what I'm saying. They have characters there in the
that
second. Ed, you haven't watched the second episode. there's characters in the second episode that are newer characters. I don't know who they are.
Yeah, they're
I'm
supposed
sure
to be.
Bandito knows. You know who I'm talking about? Like the pair that are helping like Bulma.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah. So like, those
like a
those
fat
characters are after Dragon Ball Z, right?
No, they were in the team. Yeah,
They were in Z. Well, okay, were they after Boo or before?
No,
Boo?
they were.
The
No,
thing is,
they were
I don't
Boo.
remember them.
They were doing.
Where were they?
Sure. Yeah, because they were.
And by the way, guys, just go and spoil it. You don't have to be all mystic.
Yeah, you can spoil it. I'm gonna.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the thing. What are those two called?
That was
the
Supreme Kai.
guys.
Yeah, Supreme Kai.
Is that what it is? Supreme Kai, and then the other big white guy.
Yeah, that's Boo Saga.
Yes.
What's the
I
older
don't
guy?
remember them, to be honest. I don't remember any of these guys.
It was Shin and
Dende.
Kibito.
Remember Dende, guys?
Dende?
Oh, they have Dendeng there too.
Dendeng.
Well, Dendeng, I remember.
Dende
They have
is
some
Kibito.
old. They have some old, weird Namek guy.
That's new too.
He's new. That guy was new. For
Yeah.
sure.
That guy's new. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, let me
so-
ask you this: Is the Catman in here? You know the Catman.
He
Yeah.
should be.
Corrin.
He is. Yeah.
Yeah, Corey.
Yeah.
Catman's brothers?
Goku visits
Now
him.
he-
Yeah.
Okay, so if Goku visits him, this is not set after the Boo, right? This is set.
It's set after Boo.
Is
It's
this?
after Boo.
This
This
Yeah.
is after Boo because
Yeah.
that's
So,
why they got
yeah.
all turned into
You
children.
remember in the first episode, he mentions, "Hey, you brought back Boo and wished him to be a good guy." He mentions like a part of that in the first episode to sort of set that part up. Like that's why he's here. Because it's
I
after
assure
Boo,
you.
but it's pre before he turns into the Black Ubu character, right?
Oob.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Black
So-
Oob.
yeah. But
So that's actually GT. That's
yeah, well,
that's not-
it leads into
yeah.
GT, but
I'm
it
literally
was at the end of
googling
GT.
all these guys. I don't know what the hell it is.
but
Black.
look, we're assuring you that everything you're seeing in this new series, it's after the Majin Buu saga. It's not going into Dragon Ball Super or any of the movies.
It's
Bandito
rewriting.
Mac-
It's
Bandito
like a
Mac,
fresh
is this-
start.
Is
It's,
this
like
what it
it's
is?
like in the middle
Yeah,
of
that's accurate.
Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super.
Yes.
They haven't gone Super Saiyan God, Blue, or
Yeah.
anything.
They haven't They haven't done the Tournament of Power or like
Yeah.
any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, so this
Right.
Yeah,
fits
so this
within
is-
the timeline.
Yeah,
right
the
after
overall
Z.
story.
It's like how Star Wars has been doing. They've been doing like seasons or shows in between before Vader
Yeah.
dies and stuff like that. That's what we're
So I
doing.
guess we're asking if this is canonical. I think is what we're.
It's definitely
And yes,
canon.
right?
It is
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It is canon. So
Right now
even-
everything's
even-
fitting a little more into place because that's the thing. Like I don't know any of this shit. So when I'm like watching it, I'm like, what the fuck is all this? Because they're like
Well-
calling back. And again, I haven't watched even the Boo stuff. I haven't watched this since I was in high school, right?
Yeah, it's been a hot
But
minute.
it's
for
been
sure.
years. So that all that stuff's
I haven't
been
either.
like completely, erased over by, like
Yeah.
Piano Cat or whatever it
I
is.
think they're trying to
So-
like refresh it a little bit by having the new king review the tapes, lack of a better word.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Of what happened?
Yeah.
Is the Dragon Balls from the Demon Realm? Is that the first time we're seeing that with the 3 protectors or
The
whatever
protectors.
that is?
Well,
Yes.
that's new also.
That's
new
new.
also.
That's
Yeah,
where
well,
Well,
it's
this.
sitting. I wasn't sure about. I wasn't sure if the overall if the Dragon Balls of the Demon Realm are new, but it's the first time I've heard of it. But yeah, definitely like the new protectors and all that stuff. That's made
Yeah,
for
Dragon-
Oh, Dark Side.
As we know, Dragon Balls they exist throughout the entire universe. So we know that there's the thing is like, and with Dragon Ball Z, I mean, we got changed. Like our understanding of Dragon Balls changed drastically because before we just thought Earth had Dragon Balls, and then we found out Namek has their Dragon Balls, and then we found out there's a galaxy. There's galactic Dragon
Of
Balls.
Dragon Balls the size of planets.
Planets, and then now we know in the demon. So we know there's many different
Dragon
levels now because we already know there's ones on the galactic scale. Now we know that there are ones even in different realms as well. So it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird how they kind of describe it because I mean going into it, if you didn't know anything outside of Namek and Earth, you'd be like, where the hell are these? Why are they in a different realm now? Like in a totally different like.
Yeah, like I didn't know any of that stuff.
Yeah,
That's
well,
what I was like,
that's new
completely
also.
confused. I
That's
was
right.
like,
that's-
Yeah, we
yeah,
never had anything in Dragon. Well, we've had realms before in Dragon Ball Super,
Yeah.
but this is kind
but
of.
I'm
like,
sure, like
but
even in
this isn't going to
the
Super,
shows. But listen, when you're watching like you guys for so long, like a series like Dragon Ball, let's say what happens after Majin Buu, GT, or whatever, you'll have callbacks, right, to
Yes.
like things in the past.
Mhm.
But-
So it still keeps your mind fresh in
Yes.
regards to like demon realms and things like that. To someone like me, like I said, aside from like the main big characters that happen, like Frieza or whatever, all that other shit, it's like, there's nothing to refresh me of all these other aspects of Dragon Ball, even if they were there when I saw it the first time.
I assure you, they're not going to go into GT. They're not going to go into Super. They're going to say strictly from even Dragon Ball up into the boost saga of Dragon Ball Z. They're not going to go anything past that because in this series they haven't gone past that.
It's like like you said, like what's Star Wars is doing.
Well, they're not going to go into GT because GT is not canon.
All right. Now,
some would say it is, but go on.
It's not what someone says. I mean, at the end of the day,
no, I don't trust me. I don't like GT.
No, I know that. No, I'm saying, but Akira Toriyama did not work on GT. So at that point, it's not canon. You can say that's an alternate timeline, sure, and that's perfectly fine. But as far as the main canon that we're on, is not. And then since this is in between Z and Super, this does fit perfectly into it. To Green Tuner's point, I mean, if you had watched Z and you didn't watch anything else, that first episode is more of a quick refresher of what happened. That's what they spend most of the, like, I would say half the episode on. And then, for as far as your understanding is concerned, it's kind of cool from your perspective, because if you remember Z, they talked about Blrd coming from the demon realm, which at that point we really didn't have a lot of. We didn't hear much about nothing about the demon realm and so forth. So this is kind of like, for your limited knowledge, this is kind of cool because you're like, okay, it's literally going from Z, where they talk about the demon realm, they kind of touched on it, to now they're actually in it and they expanding upon it. So it's kind of cool on your end. Like for us, it's kind of like we've been outside to different galaxies and the different timelines and everything else, even more so with Super. But now, like, we've had that, so the weird shit we've already done. You coming into this is like, straight from, it's a continuous storyline for you.
We're all going into this fresh because none of this, even the mentioning of where Nameks come from, they come from the demon realm. Like, we didn't know about that. I mean,
the pointy ears, right?
Yeah, the pointy ears. Yeah,
points out who's demon realm, whatever.
Yeah, typically they're from demon realm. So a lot of that stuff is like you're saying. A lot of that stuff is coming to us new as well. So like the Deborah thing, we knew about Deborah, but he was the demon king, but we didn't know what that meant really.
How do you spell Deborah? They're looking at
demon realm or anything.
Dabura. So
which is funny.
Overall,
because King Piccolo was called the Demon King.
The Demon King,
and Dragon Ball.
Oh shoot, this guy.
The fact that I didn't watch the second episode where they validated that that's where they come from makes sense, because that's a huge callback to Demon King Piccolo now being now he actually has
from
the demon realm. Which is cool. That's a really cool.
That makes it even better. I was going to say overall, they kind of set up this new storyline, I felt like, in a good way, because like to Green Tuner's point, like we were saying, a lot of the details to us are new for some of this. So it's kind of like they went back, grabbed some of the fuzzy stuff, and now they can flesh it out a bit more. And it even feels like this sort of them looking between the realms it's almost like a Marvel multiverse kind of thing versus them them
does
going to
feel a little bit that way.
It's a Disney Plus of
It's very much like in that sort of style. So
now,
it's cool for them to go ahead.
In the episode, they mention, when they're talking about the Dragon Balls, they mentioned they're not allowed, or they can't make a black wish. Were you guys offended by that?
No, I thought that was interesting, actually.
What?
Okay, all right. We're not.
They can't make a what?
So what he was saying was that he said that, because he's saying that when they witnessed them do the wish, he was saying that we probably can't make a wish like that because it seems like the dragon deals in white magic, and calling for someone's death is a black magic type of wish. Which I don't think I've ever heard them describe that.
We're not going to sit on this topic.
So I'll talk a little bit about that.
Why? There's a much
interpretation
better
of
one.
What's going on?
Our boy, Mr. Popo, is back.
Mr. Popo is back.
Beautiful. Just rage baity glory.
The thing is, I don't remember if I don't think they've ever discussed Mr. Popo's background. Actually, I know they haven't. They haven't discussed Mr. Popo's background.
Well, they show his little horns to kind of highlight that he's a little whatever
demon.
Because he's got two little. Yeah, he's got two little horns.
Well,
yeah.
see, that's the thing. That's new. That's new.
That's new. Right.
That's new. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Hey, Grit, thanks for the spoiler. Thanks for the fucking spoiler.
That's right.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but so that, I mean, that's cool.
Goku was dead all along. This was just a dream.
This was all just a dream.
What if it was?
Yeah.
No, that's cool. I mean, the whole idea of them going into, because I mean, before, even with like the Dragon Ball, they kind of got into the lore initially because the dragon does have limited power. There, certain dragons can do more. As pretty much as you go up in tiers, but our Earth Dragon is kind of limited to what is kind of it's the lowest tier and what is feasibly possible. So the fact that that the dragon could not perform a wish is not new to us, but the fact that now we have a definitive answer of what type of the reason why is kind of cool. I'm assuming that when they talk about the demon realm, that's going to be probably a lot different because that's why it's so hard. That's so protected. It's protected so toughly overall, as opposed to like the Earth ones are just kind of like whatever. You know, you get them when you get them.
When you talk about like the galactic Dragon Balls, what possible wish was there made with the galactic Dragon Balls?
Well, that goes into Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah. Did they even use that?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
So there is a supreme.
So there's size of planets.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they have no life on them, right? Because you gotta bring them together. That would basically wipe out whatever populations on that planet.
That would be cool, but no, there's no life on those.
See all the population die of a planet was formed on the Dragon Ball.
So what was the wish though?
That wish was granted by a Supreme Kai named Zamusu, who switched his body with Goku's body, and that's how we get Goku Black. So it's basically, you've seen Goku's body.
Hell yeah. He wished himself black. That's the wish.
Yeah.
That's
he wished to be black.
It was a black wish. So it was a black wish then.
Well, he didn't die. He just switched bodies with him.
Yeah, just switched bodies.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, so that doesn't seem like a crazy wish. Why does that require the galactic Dragon Balls to do that? Why can't a regular guy do that?
I mean, that's a good point.
It seems like the regular Dragon Ball would have been able to do that, right?
That's a good point.
That's a good point. Yeah. And the thing is, I think at the time, you gotta remember, this is now after Dragon Ball Super. So, I mean, as far as the story is concerned, why he couldn't just get the Earth Dragon Balls to do so, we don't know, right?
Maybe he didn't know about it.
Maybe the story wasn't written fleshed out to that point. So yeah, it is. It might be like a small plot point where they could figure out later on, or Akira Toriyama maybe explains it later on. We don't know.
There has been mentions that Akira Toriyama did forget a few things himself about his own story at times. That has been
that's normal for most things.
Well, I mean, the thing is like with Akira Toriyama, I mean, with his passing, I mean, he was spending a lot of time with I think the other writers, Toroyaru. I forgot his name. Yeah, but there's the Dragon Ball Super and so forth has been kind of passed on to another writer, where Toriyama pretty much had and even the other writer did confirm that that him and Toriyama had talked a lot, and that the overall story of Dragon Ball and just kind of where it's at or where it's going to go, Akira Toriyama has already told the entire story of Dragon Ball, and
it's in good hands.
Yeah, and at this point, the guy who's now drawing it and writing it for the manga, he's always been allowed to, for the most part, fill in what the gaps are. So Akira Toriyama will say, hey, this is what A and C, this is the start of it, and here's C, this is the end of it. And then the new writer was able to fill out B and fill out everything and how it's going to be. So, I mean, Dragon Ball, for the most part, is in good hands. We haven't seen a new chapter get produced. I don't know if it's because the current writer is in mourning. He just kind of want to chill out and let the heat from Akira Toriyama's passing kind of subside, and let Dragon Ball Daima go out as well, because Super was getting to a very hype point with Ultra Ego being produced. And you could kind of tell that a new chapter in Dragon Ball was getting produced. A new saga was getting produced. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, let me chill out on Super. Let's chill out on Super for a little bit. Let's get Daima out, let it simmer for a little bit, and then we get back on Super, because it might be confusing for especially like new fans of Dragon Ball who haven't really been paying attention. Like, okay, I'm watching an anime that's in the past, but then I'm reading a manga that's in the future. It might be a little confusing. And now not many animes do that per se, where they have two different active storylines going on at the same time in the same universe. So, I mean, with so far I've only seen episode 1. I will agree with you guys. Episode 1 was very beautifully drawn. I agree with that. Underground, this does remind me, has the same quality of the movies, especially the last one with Broly. I think this is really good. I can't necessarily say I'm looking forward to this, only because we kind of got the Kid Goku already with GT, even though GT doesn't exist in this canon. They kind of already gotten that, and then with smaller, everybody being children again, it's like, okay, it's cool, but am I really that excited for it? No, I'd much rather have a continuation of Super and get past the current arc that's on. Or start a new arc. But this is cool. This is something that, I feel like for myself, this can pass the time until another chapter of Super comes out. I believe that Dragon Ball in of itself is a story that will never end. Not necessarily not because I want that to happen. I think that's just what Kira Toriyama's vision was, that Dragon Ball was just always going to be a story that continues on with new writers and so forth. And I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
So with that, I hope so. Yeah. So with that being said, Daima, while I'm excited for it, I'm not that excited for it. It's cool to see. And then with Super, if it ever comes back, I'll probably be more geared towards that. But I don't know. I mean, overall, what do you guys think? Do you guys want to give it blurries, or do you guys have anything more you want to add to that?
No, I liked what I saw, but like I said, I saw very little. So, for me, I have not seen all these things, so it's kind of a nice, refreshing return to something that I may like. So I'm willing to, but man, that original Goku voice is rough on the ears.
It is. I was not prepared for it.
Good Lord.
But the funny thing is, a lot of people, I literally had a conversation about this recently, is that Dragon Ball is, I was talking to one of my my little cousins about this. Bandito Mac knows what I'm probably talking about. I was having a discussion with them, and they were talking about, and she was talking about how she only watches dubs. She likes dubs. She doesn't want to sit there and read subtitles. And I was telling her that ultimately Dragon Ball is probably one of the, if not the only anime that I can watch dubbed. Yeah,
I have to agree.
Everything else in sub, I'm like, give it to me in sub. I'll take sub every day, twice on Sundays, but I cannot do dub for most part. But Dragon Ball has a very fantastic dub. So yeah. I understand, like, from that viewpoint, I can understand why you think it's annoying, because I know back in the day when I used to watch Dragon Ball Z movies that you couldn't get in America at the time. You had to watch it in sub and be like, oh, this is Goku's voice. Like, this is hurt. So I can, normally I'd be like, yeah, you guys are idiots. You guys are just not real otakus. But I can honestly understand where you guys are coming from. So yeah, it sucks. You might, I want to say you may want to wait till the dub comes out, because it might not come out anytime soon.
It's gonna be too long.
Yeah,
it's gonna be way too long by that point.
I'm not that invested to wait for this, but I just find it interesting. I just find it interesting that Goku is basically the Superman of anime, right? So he's a very masculine figure. He's a pivotal figure in that universe. It's just very odd that
but it's to make him sound like
so
pure, right, or something, or like
that's
why they hired specifically like a woman, right, to give him a more.
Is this the same actor, the original voice actor, as the Dragon Ball voice?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, she's been doing Goku's voice since the beginning. So this is.
I think you're right.
That's badass.
Yeah. Like he's a forever innocent character, right? Like
exactly. Yeah, that's what they wanted to convey, which is fine. I mean, again, that is the Toriyama vision.
That's a dream.
Yes.
Everything else we have is basically a offshoot of that.
And Toriyama was actually inspired by the Alien series and also Superman. I say that because the Alien series, if you look at Frieza, I think it's Frieza's second or third form when he's tall and has the
elongated head,
shaped head. Yeah, that's a callback to Alien, and Goku is basically inspired by Superman, both from different planets, both land on Earth, both raised on Earth.
I think you said this point every time we talk about Goku.
Yeah,
and that makes sense why they
better
want to like
information.
keep extending it, like Toriyama wants, because why not? Just like Superman,
just
the
like
character can just keep on living forever.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. Yeah, so we'll see. We're gonna have Goku in our lives, so we're gonna be able to teach our kids, and their kids about Goku. So definitely looking forward to seeing that legacy.
As it is tradition, yes.
Yeah. Son, let me tell you about a little something called Berserk.
Yeah.
I know you're 4, but you need to learn these lessons.
Hey, teach them right in the beginning.
Exactly. All right. So, I mean, do you guys want to do blurries for it, or you just want to wait for?
Whatever you guys want. Yeah, we always do blurry, right? Let's do it.
Blurries. Yeah. I'll start off. I'll give
Wait, precog or just blurry?
Precog.
Precog. Oh,
we're precogging the whole series, the whole Daima.
I love it.
No. I'm sorry. I misspoke.
Soon.
Yeah, we'll do blurries
based off one episode. That's bold. Okay.
That's bold. That's
that is
ballsy as hell.
It is stressing now.
Yeah, I would say honestly this was a 9 for me. While we didn't get live actions. That's my only thing that I don't like about it. But overall, it's nice to see Dragon Ball.
Wait. You said wait. Hold on. A 9 is a pretty big score. So
that's,
like what you said.
Hey, that's what he feels.
Yeah, this is my personal
I get
feeling.
it.
Yeah,
I get you. But what is the thing that drove it to a 9?
Yeah,
beautiful animation. We got to see the characters again.
Okay.
It's nostalgia. So for me, this is
very nostalgic.
I can see that. Yeah.
This is nostalgia, and I think this is kind of cool because there was a lot of drawbacks. Drawbacks to
or
I
think it's the wrong word.
Callbacks.
Callbacks to old stuff, old lore. Which at the end of the day the fans weren't asking for the most part. They weren't asking for let's give more in the making and lore in the background, but the fact of, even though I haven't seen this episode, but hearing it from you guys, that's really cool. So I really enjoyed
that's episode 1.
Yeah, it's only episode. Well, no, episode.
No, I mean the Namekian lore. That's episode 1.
No, that's episode 2.
I could have swore I saw one episode when he talked about where the Namekians come from.
From the demon room? I don't think it.
Yeah.
Benito Mac, what is your score?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I probably agree. I'm thinking, my gut feeling was a 9 for sure. I definitely enjoyed it. I wasn't sure how much I would because I haven't watched Dragon Ball Super, and like I was kind of the same boat as Green Tuner, and where a lot of the last Dragon Ball I seen was Z after the Buu saga, but I did remember quite a bit of it, and I think the way that they set up the lore was pretty good, like establishing like what their sort of goal was with King Goma, like trying to what he's after, and then honestly, like the second episode I think really hooked me. I know we didn't really talk a lot about it, but so one of the biggest
second
things,
episode was hard with all the nostalgia. The Creamcat's gonna fucking pass out.
Spoilers here. One of the things is, I think one of the biggest things I liked was when they showed off Master Roshi. Because he's a lot younger now, and then when Goku went to go meet with him, and he's like, "Hey," he went to go talk to him, and Master Roshi's like, "Hey, I got a lot of stuff I want to do now that I'm younger," and I'm like, "Oh, that's really." I feel like they can mine a lot of interesting stories out of that. You know what I mean? Like if they go in that direction with some characters and kind of see like, okay, how would they act?
Toss the shell.
They're
He's just wearing like a little cute little a yellow 3-piece suit,
He's like he's about to return to his player days where he just kind of goes out.
Pretty much,
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, he ain't talking about training.
They hint to it, but they keep it clean enough where a kid won't get it. But yeah, for sure, that's what he's saying.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to see if they can go what they do in that direction. Besides, just kind of the fighting and stuff. Because like Creamcast was saying, there wasn't a lot of action yet, but animation quality still looks really, really high. Like a lot of the shadows, a lot of the artwork in general looks still really crisp, really good. But yeah, just super looking forward to seeing what else they do. I do miss Vegeta's voice. I think like I didn't really mind the dub or the subtitles, the voices in general, but I do find myself missing like Vegeta's old gruffness. But yeah, definitely looking forward to see what they do.
All right.
Well, I'll have to give it a.
Dang.
I'll give it an
Jumped
8.
in there, huh?
Well, yeah, but to jump in there. That's what I do. I give it an 8.
Rude.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I give it an 8. I think the animation quality is very beautiful. It's movie quality. I would even say it's a little bit better than the close tail end of Super quality. And Super, the end of Super, really good. Story wise, I mean, I've only seen one episode, so I don't know what to expect yet. But I trust it's going to be good. I can't give it a 9 yet because I need to see or understand the story was going to take place.
You give it an 8. You give it an 8.
Yeah, 8.
You got an 8.
The animation quality is very beautiful.
Hey, you get whatever. That's what you feel, you know.
Oh, and the callbacks of the things that happen in the Boo Saga that was just basically redrawn. Very beautiful. I was like, holy crap, I want to see more of this. If they actually redid Dragon Ball Z, not that Kai stuff.
It's called
like
Kai.
Man. If they did Dragon Ball Z again like that, I will be so in, waiting for the next episode to come every week, like back in the day, in the Toonami days. So love it.
Okay. Well, I don't have the nostalgia for Marvin Boo or any of these characters, but I will say that
got some sexual
Marvin Boo.
Yeah. Exactly. The animation was good, and there is a nostalgia that I don't have, but I have a nostalgia for Dragon Ball, and I guess seeing the little Goku kind of like triggers something. We'll see if that is a good or bad thing. Generally speaking, I'm more annoyed by Dragon Ball as it gets further along and gets more convoluted. However, this whole thing has an innocent fun to it that I enjoy. And I hope that they capture that and run with that. So I will give it a 7. I'll give it a 7.
7.
All right. Yeah, same as 7. Really, what everyone said. Really good animation. I wish I was more of a fan because I think I would have loved it much, much, much more.
Okay. Well, I mean, are we jumping off this? Or are we talking about another?
Oh yeah,
film?
we just gotta do
Can we talk about that real quick since we're on this one thing and we're in a pretty tight little short episode?
I thought we were doing a 2-parter. No more.
Yeah.
I mean, but I think half of us have. Who watched at least the first episode of Dan to Dan?
I've seen it. Yeah,
not me.
No,
yeah,
I haven't seen
I watched it.
Okay, so I mean, that's also on Netflix. I checked it out, and I could basically our first episode. I think 2 episodes I watched. I thought the animation is spectacular. Like I really like the way that it's
done by
Nappa
Studio.
How do you spell this?
Dan DANDA.
Oh, okay.
Dan the Dizzle.
It's almost like a bo. Yeah.
No, yeah, it was very frantic. I'm trying to think of what I can compare it to. It was fun,
Cooley, right? Fooly
Cooley is, but I think I feel like I always go to Fooly Cooley, so I didn't know if it was applicable. Yeah, that's the one. I like her as a character. She's pretty funny. Yeah.
Oh,
I think the characters are funny.
Wait, so are we talking about this?
Yeah.
Wait. So are we done with Dragon Ball and moving into this, or is this like still part of it?
It's still part of it. Generally, when we give the number, we're done with that part of it. But we thought we were going to add on this if you watched it.
I have not. But go on.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to assign a blurry to it or anything. I just wanted to get your take because it's a new anime and it's something that popped up there on Netflix with Daima, so I
I
did
like
check that
it.
out as well.
Listen,
I-
yeah, if you guys out there have a GILF thing, check
GILF
this
thing?
anime out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's-
You know what I mean?
Tell the viewers what GILF is, Green Tuner,
Mm-hmm.
for those listening.
Oh, I don't know what it is. I just heard someone say it. So, can you tell me what it means?
I have no idea what it means, actually.
Mm. All right.
Mm,
uh,
okay. Well, anyway.
And
yeah,
with that,
That's good.
yeah, no, that's all. That's all. I just wanted to add on because I thought that was a refreshing, completely different. But since we're talking about cool looking animation, that definitely stood out to me. I'll
the
definitely
animation
check
is
that
really cool.
Mhm.
I don't know, all these animes, man. The animation's like top notch. Because I remember,
Is
what was it? I know we reviewed it a while ago, but that Chainsaw Man, same thing.
Yeah,
Like all
Pretty
these
good.
animes I'm watching, I'm like, geez, this level is insane.
yeah.
Depending on,
we don't-
depending on
we
the
don't
studio
review-
that draws it, so or who produces it. So like a lot of these, like, I think Chainsaw Man, is that Mappa too?
That's
I
Mappa.
forgot.
That's
yeah.
Mappa.
So Mappa does Chainsaw Man and Dan to Dan. So those are very
Is it-
two, like high
Okay.
budget.
Hi, but they're
quality.
different because like Chainsaw Man has like a liquid look to it, obviously, because it's very like gore driven. So they
Yeah.
make like the blood everything in the anime looks wet and like fucking which I love, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, the end of then whatever, it's like that fully cooly thing, which I don't know. I really
Cool.
so far I really dig the main character, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
I love
don't
flawed
remember.
characters, and I love how much of an asshole she is.
No, like since we don't talk that much anime, and I'm not a true otaku like some of the other ones on this podcast here. They can speak to it, but it seems like to me that anime couple years ago I was really concerned about anime because they were doing a lot of like cell shading 3D
3D.
bullshit.
Oh
And
god.
yeah. So I was like, is the hand drawn era done? And then all of a
Apple
sudden,
seed, baby.
all these like cool animes pop up. Like it seems like, is this okay? I guess what I'm asking is this: is
Yeah,
this
what
like?
are you trying to ask?
Yeah, what's the question?
The question is,
Are we in a new
where
era
am-
of anime or something?
Dark Side
wanna
is
know-
lost.
My question is this still hand drawn or is this like next gen computer animation that looks
Yeah.
hand drawn?
It's just
It
like
could
a
be both.
proliferation right now. Maybe of just some like really good key animation artists that are going around.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember the name. Who's the guy that works on My
On
Hero
Dragon
Academia?
Ball? Oh, My
My
Hero.
Hero. I want
I
to say
don't know.
Yuki. If you look up Yuki Nakamura, anyway. But look
Listen
up
to it, try to
key
chime
artists
in
on
like he
this.
knows the creators of these
No,
series.
we have like
You can see like he invented a few like some really good animation techniques that a lot of other studios or other artists may copy and stuff like that. And just kind of depending on like I was saying, depending on the studio, the budget, it just seems like those ones are definitely getting a lot more noticed.
I think it started to get better once the Dragon Ball the Broly movie was around. That's when animation
That
started
was
to get
good
better.
animation. I remember that
Oh, that
Broly movie
was-
was slick. It was.
I
slick.
never
It wasn't
watched
just-
that
right now.
movie.
You
Yeah, I
gotta watch
remember
it.
all the Dragon Ball guys were creaming themselves over
I
that
posted
movie.
it so you can
Yes.
watch it for free, but
He did. He did.
Did
post
you?
it.
I mean, I can find it, I'm
on,
sure.
on YouTube, that's like the easiest thing you can do.
Wasn't like in 1080p also? Forgot.
Yeah, it's an AP.
Heck
You missed
yeah.
out, Green Tuner.
All right, so
Oh yeah, I know.
So
I'm
for
losing
Darkseid,
sleep.
there was there was a period of time where cell shading seemed like it was going to be the norm. But the thing is, you also got to remember too, like a lot of anime, we see only so much anime in the United States. So much anime gets dubbed and becomes mainstream. There is a lot of anime that gets produced that people will never hear about, or the mainstream audience won't hear about. A good example is like Dan to Dan. If it wasn't for the fact that it was kind of popular, well, it's really starting to become popular now that a lot of other animes kind of wrapped up, right? So like the Attack of Titan is done. What else? My Hero Academia is like the manga is done. So a lot of people are looking for new mangas to watch. And Dan is only like on episode. I think it's like only on 40 on this 40th chapter.
Yeah.
It's not that deep. It's not that deep into it. So
Okay.
And you could only read it online officially for a hot minute
yeah,
because it was like rated mature.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dan Dan's
Really?
on chapter 171. So it's on 171, which is for the, I
Mhm.
mean, for the uninitiated, if it comes out weekly, that's 171 weeks given out like with Golden Week and other weeks that they take breaks. I mean, it hasn't been on for a long time. It's been for like a couple years. So the fact that Dan is where it's at, it has such great animation. Well, there's a lot of people that like it now, right now. Very popular. So I believe like there are still studios that are doing the cell shading stuff, and they are going to continue to do cell shading because that's just the style that they want to go with. Some people love it, some people hate it. It all depends. And with that, even with hand drawn stuff, there are some really like the one that always comes to mind. Right now, Blue Lock, which is a manga about soccer, that's absolutely getting shit on right now. Even though the style kind of matches Blue Lock. The style kind of matches the anime to an extent, or the manga to an extent. People are really upset because it's very like I'm kicking the ball, and then it shows like a lot of exclamation points, and it looks like live action, but it's just a character frozen in frame, and they're just like moving their eyes and they move their mouth, but their arms are staying still. Which I mean, I don't know what a lot of people are looking at. I mean, granted, you can make a soccer anime very high energy and so forth, but that's just how they
Captain Tsubasa.
Yeah.
I used to love that thing as a kid.
But the one that is really hitting, I mean, that's always in my mind, is Seven Deadly Sins. Seven Deadly Sins, when it first came out in the first 2 or 3 seasons, absolutely beautiful animation, gorgeous animation. And then it took a complete nosedive because they changed studios. To a complete nosedive where everybody was like, this Seven Deadly Sins was done in Paint and PowerPoint slides. Absolutely horrible animation. So it's like there's an ebb and flow with anime where you have studios like Mappa. Mappa is known for excellent animation. When you talk about Mappa budgets, that budget, wherever you thought that budget was, 10x that. But then what stops people from going to the Mappas of the world and so forth is because the work conditions are absolutely horrible. Like people, like their animators there might be like 15 animators working on an entire season. And at that point, these people are working 10-hour days, no days off. It's very brutal. People are sleeping at the studio. Like I said, 7-day work days, crazy stuff. So that's the thing. It's like, yeah, you want beautiful animation, but because there are these animes or these mangas are so popular, and these studios are trying to make these companies or these studios are trying to do the best animation they can on the most minimal amount of budget, and a lot of people are not going to pay for it because anime and mangas don't make a ton of money like people think. Like the mangakas, the people who actually make this stuff, they don't get rich off a normal mangaka who makes mangas. They don't get rich off of this. They make just a regular ass salary. So, and the thing is, for all the good ones that you see, there are 100 other good ones out there, but they'll just never get the light of day because they just don't get translated, or they just don't get the same appeal as in America. So it's a brutal industry to get into. That's for sure. And for every like I said, for every Dan to Dan, you'll get 10 other ones that are nowhere near the quality. But I mean, that's just the nature of the business.
There is a recent anime that came out. I don't know the name of it, but it's in black and white. And I was told that the first episode was gorgeous, but then
Jinji,
I think it might be it. Yeah. And now
really? The second episode sucks?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
The budget fell off. Yeah, fell off cliff big time. Apparently,
I was gonna say, the first one was so beautifully animated. I was like,
yeah,
it is.
I've not watched it, but
Uzumaki.
That new Junji on Netflix, right?
Uzumaki, the first budget in of itself, the first episode, they said the budget was probably worth a season of a normal, pretty much a movie, an OVA or a movie of a normal series, and absolutely crazy. And the fact that this is only it was only supposed to be a 4 episode or 5 or 6 episode season. They're like, hey, we're gonna be paying this 4 times for something that is, and Uzumaki is kind of a niche manga, is well beloved, but it's kind of a niche thing. It's not gonna make
Junji Ito is niche as it is. Like we know who Junji Ito is, but the average like consumer is like Junji Ito.
Yeah, exactly. So the fact that they're spending something like that much money on something that's very niche as opposed to like a My Hero Academia or I don't know, Dragon Ball or whatever else, Attack on Titan. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. So yeah, that it was a huge nosedive in between animation quality in between the two.
Dragon Ball Super had that for a little bit too.
Now I have to watch.
Yeah, I kind of want to watch it now.
Yeah, you're not gonna get anything as bad as Seven Deadly Sins, I don't think, but it is what it is. All right.
Okay. All right.
Alrighty, well,
Let's go ahead.
That's it.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's transition. Like we're past the hour mark, which we were perfectly fine of until somebody had to open their mouth. Shut the hell up. No one gives fake ass One Piece fan. I know damn well you haven't finished all 1072.
That from Timu.
Yeah, exactly. You tell
what episode are you on right now? Wait, are you manga or watching the anime? What are you doing right now?
I don't know anymore.
Hey, just like all One Piece fans, they're gonna cope and say it's the best thing ever.
I'm on the anime, but I'm taking a break.
Of course, there we go.
Yeah. I'll be back.
Ooh,
I'll be back.
There we go.
You know what's cool? I just read that I guess for the first time in history, One Piece is taking a break, like the real anime. Like they're taking a break. And they've never done that before. And they're going to be reanimating stuff from years ago. Huh?
On Netflix, right? They're re-releasing it.
He's about the One Piece.
Oh yeah.
No,
the One Piece.
I'm not talking about the One Piece. The One Piece is a separate thing. But
they're remastering the first couple seasons of the anime.
They are remastering the first couple seasons, but they're also at the same time remastering the part that I'm in, that I'm going into for pacing and reanimating it to the current animation style, which I'm like, fucking perfect timing. Fucking like, so that's the excuse I need. Anyways, fuck you guys.
All right.
One Piece is better.
All right, take us out.
False.
Take us out.
False. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 143 of the Blrd Podcast. As always, you can find us on all major platforms. And of course, you can see our wonderful, beautiful, luxurious faces here on twitch.tv/the Blrd Podcast. And your main character, your host with the most, the Ed Underground. Baby.
All right, we'll be right back, guys. Blur you later.
Blur you later.